Again then. Hi, good afternoon. Here we are on Easter Saturday in the company of Myrddyn Phillips, who has just reached his 1000th Welsh Tump. So how's it been, Myrddyn?
It's been really good, Mark. Joined by a number of friends and very, very enjoyable. And so far the weather's been kind to us.
It has been good, isn't it? You've been lucky today because it was pretty horrible yesterday, wasn't it? So what's your feelings about getting 1,000 Welsh Tumps under your belt?
One of satisfaction, fulfilment. It's been a little sort of hill walking ambition of mine for a number of years, and when the Welsh P30s were first mapped all the way down to 30 metre in height, I did think then whether it was feasible to complete a mainland completion of Wales, and I think it still is, and somebody like Rob Woodall is well on the way. But,
so how many are there on the Welsh mainland then? Roughly.
I don't know the exact total. It's about 2,500, I think. Could be sort of between 2,200, 2,500. So a real good list to go for.
So it's taken you to your 50th or 51st year, is it now? To get the first 1,000, are you going to speed up for the rest then, are you?
21st year, Mark, sure.
Of course you've been 21st for the last 50 years, haven't you? Yes.
56th or 57th year now, unfortunately. Yeah, it's taken about 15 to 17 years. I was writing a little bit, which I'll probably put on the blog later today or tomorrow morning. I was writing that yesterday, just a few paragraphs. And I started back in the Deweys in the year 2000. And then,
was that your first Welsh list you were working through?
Sort of the Nuttall's preceding that.
Yeah.
The first sort of 30 metre prominence based listing. And then for the 400 metre Welsh Hills, the Pedwar, I started purposely bagging those in 2002.
Right,
so it's been 15 to 17 years to get up to 1,000.
To 1,000. Was there any kind of purpose to getting to 1,000 when you started, or did it just develop?
To have lots of caterpillar cake.
No, what I meant was when you did your first tump, do you think, right, I'm underway now, I'm heading for 1,000.
999 more to go. Not really. But having mapped the P30s, I knew then that to complete Wales would be, a major undertaking, but feasible.
So anybody apart from Rob Woodall, have they finished them?
Well, the mysterious Andrew Allam.
The mysterious Andrew Allam, yes.
He's done over 1,000, and also...
all on the same date, too.
All on the same date.
Amazing.
He's pretty good. But also Alex Cameron, who beat me to the 1,000 Welsh P30s by literally an hour this morning. And
yes, that was sneaky.
Congratulations to Alex as well. So... and Alex has got years on me. He's about 20 years younger.
Yes,
so,
and he's a bit of a climber, I think, too, isn't he? So he could manage some of the more difficult ones.
But again, a mainland Wales completion for Alex, that's very feasible.
Well, of course, you're going to have a problem now with mainland Wales because we have this pinnacle, don't we, up in Llanberis now, which is going to be a bit of a problem.
I think, is it Ceiliog Mawr, which is the big cockerel?
Which Aled found, didn't he, I think?
Aled via wider data, yeah.
Yeah, Aled Williams, that is, yeah.
It's in the quarries close to Llanberis.
So that's going to be a tricky completion, that, I think, really, to get there.
Well, especially if they choose that as the very last one for me.
Yeah, that would be fine, yes.
A good summit party on top of that one.
Just be you up there, I think, somehow. So you've got 1,000 under your belt. What do you think's been your best ones?
Oh, the best ones. Years ago when I started doing the Nuttall stroke Hewitts, I always thought that the Arran Vawddwy was rather a special hill range. I love open country, so the central Wales hills.
Elenneth you're talking about there?
Yeah, the
yes.
Elenneth, absolutely stunning. But
that really comes into its own when you leave 2,000-foot hills and go a bit lower, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think the Rhinogydd between Barmouth and Harlech.
Wonderful rugged hills, yeah.
Very special. But only last week, sort of bringing the total up to from 997 through to 999, I did a couple of walks just to the south of Llanfallin.
Uh-huh.
And just stunning countryside, very quiet, country lanes. Stopped and chatted with 3 farmers. Beautiful day.
No doubt you were looking for names, were you?
Names, yes. But just lovely, quiet hills with very, very fine views. And I think the more hills I'm visiting, it's you get a greater appreciation for the landscape that you're walking through, but also for the smaller, heighted hills.
Of course, the beauty of Wales too, it's a very compact country hill-wise, isn't it? You know, I think when you're doing the Dewies, you've got to go from Cornwall to the Scottish border, which is a much bigger prospect than Wales, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's also the variety of landscape as well.
Yes, indeed so, yeah. So, in terms of finest, what about your worst? What do you think has been your worst ones? Gomely ones, I suppose, that kind of thing?
Well, the worst gommel that I've ever experienced was with yourself.
Yeah, I remember it well, yes.
Yeah. That was unpleasant.
On the Elenneth, wasn't it?
Yes. I think the forested summits, I'm not particularly... I don't find those of particular interest, really.
Wales does have a fair share of those too, doesn't it?
Also, gorse and brambles. I can remember one small summit on Ynysmôn on Anglesey. I think it's called Ponciau Tre Wilmot.
I haven't had the pleasure of that one yet. No.
It's only about 70 metres high, and from where you park the car, it's probably, or it looks like no more than 10, 15 minutes to the summit. It took me well over an hour.
Goodness gracious!
It's just horrific.
We do it in shorts.
Probably.
We have one of those famous pictures of your legs all blooded, like we've seen on your blog occasionally.
I've got another one this morning.
Oh, well done. Yes, we might panel on that later for the viewers, anyway. So those are some of the worst ones. And what do you think the highlights were in terms of the best ones in terms of hill company and weather and that kind of thing?
I think the weather helps. Obviously, good company helps, but I find that you can get. There's a different sense of enjoyment walking on your own to with friends, and probably when you're on your own, I think you experience the hills in a very different way. You almost sort of soak in the atmosphere of the hills, whereas if you're with friends, you're sort of chatting away and enjoying one another's company. But even recently, with Aled Williams and also Ian Brown, did a fantastic walk over the Epint over Christmas time. And that was just superb.
Yes, I saw the pictures on your blog of that. And you had brilliant sunshine, didn't you? The colours were gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's a part of the country that you can't really access very often. So to go up there in such fantastic conditions, that was rather special. But there's just so many memories, and they almost merge into one. You've got this. It's almost like one sort of merged image of, being out with good friends and experiencing the hills. And I'd recommend it to anybody, really.
Have you recommended it to Louise?
I have. She's got a slightly damaged back, which doesn't help. So she does quite well when she gets out onto the hills.
So how many tumps has she done now then?
Probably about 5.
Yeah. Celebrate her 10th then, with a big celebration. Yeah. Any other thoughts before we sign off? What about your next 1,000? What do you think that's going to be like?
Well, I want to complete, it's a co-authored list that I've got with Aled for the Welsh 500 metre P15s. And I had about 30 odd left, and there's in excess of 630 of them in all. Going back 8 or 9 years ago, I made a concerted effort to finish, and then got way tracked on sort of surveying, buying trimbles, and
it does slow you down. I remember that.
Blogs,
yes, yeah.
So
it's the coals that get you. Yeah.
So I need to turn my sights onto that list, I think.
So that's the plan, anyway.
Hopefully.
And what do you think? Which year do you think you'll be on your 2,000th then?
Oh, phooey. Probably, if ever I reach that mark, it's probably going to be could even be about another 20 odd years.
Be going up on a Zimmer frame then. Well, thanks, Myrddyn. It's been interesting interviewing you. Good luck for your next 1,000 as well too.
Lovely. Cheers, Mark. Thank you.